for that page.
Yeah.
Because already, built it, but we've already made one. We got maybe 120 followers for the new page in a day. So.
Meanwhile,
music by Loud.
Magnolia Room Speakeasy, Airbnb Bosses, Drinx, shout out to John, DirectAuto, go see Michael West, Collision Depot, they will fix and repair to the highest standard. The District Coffee Company, downtown Ocean Springs, and the new location, Pascagoula.
Captain Al's, Gulfport, Mississippi. Go see Stacy and Bert.
We offer home, auto, motion, builders, lips, and life essence.
The Jourdan Podcast with McCade Hibbard and Anythony Portera.
Will's is pure as the driven snow. Will ain't cursing.
That's it. Okay. It's fine.
Have you seen?
All right, there we go. Problem solved.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening,
all right.
and welcome to Them District Boys podcast. Today is episode number 70. We got a special treat for y'all tonight. This is one guy I like to call one of my best friends. I'm proud to call him one of my best friends. Successful entrepreneur, and now he's running for the Alderman at large in the city of Ocean Springs. This guy's one of the best human beings I know. So without further ado, Them District Boys and Oren Zweig.
You don't applaud yourself, right? No, you can't. No, that was good.
I would applaud myself.
Oh, shit. So cursing is okay, guys?
Absolutely.
Because I curse. I'm
No,
not raised here, and I love it here, but that's the one thing I can't shake. But other than that, I got all the Southern hospitality. But I
would
curse
say about 10%. No, I would say 25-30% of our show is.
It's okay, yeah?
But you put adult content on there, so.
It's adult content.
Okay, they're not going to judge me, right?
Yeah,
You guys aren't going to judge me.
Too late for that, buddy.
Yeah, our thumbnail, our new brand for the show. Remember the old parental advisory
Yeah.
CDs?
Yeah.
It's like,
Buddy, I'm from Hollywood to Miami, 2 Live Crew. They were the parental advisory. Yeah.
I don't want kids to watch this. I feel like growing up.
They're watching everything else.
Yeah.
Man.
But no, for growing up, we always had like the HBO, Showtime, After Hours.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the podcast is. I mean, should be that way.
When I was growing up, it would be like those stations would be all like zigzags. So
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, hey, I saw. Oh, what did I see? You know, when
Same.
we were kids, because
Same.
my parents didn't have that.
So, Oren, where are you from?
I'm from Hollywood, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, born in Israel, and which isn't really so popular these days, but raised in Hollywood, Florida. Moved to Michigan, stayed there for a little while, and then little kid moved to Hollywood and raised there.
What made you move to Michigan?
My parents. I was a year and a half old.
Okay.
So we moved from Israel to Michigan, and my uncle came to the States first, and he married my dad's sister, and so my dad was a soccer player in Israel, professional, and he's like, well, we got some opportunity in America if we go to America, and so we moved to the United States. We went to Michigan and lived there for a few years. I mean, I was a baby, a year and a half old, and then we moved to Miami. They opened up a business in Miami. Yeah.
Outside noise.
Yeah, outside noise.
Hey, outside noise
So
is
what brought
good.
you to Ocean Springs, man? From Michigan?
Poker.
Poker.
Yeah,
So you're a
so
good poker player.
no, I mean, I was good back in the day, but now everybody's so good right now, so much information. I used to play a lot is where I started. Then I started dealing. Sometimes you play, you don't win, you need to make money. So I started dealing, and I love dealing poker.
What got
man.
you into poker, man?
Just as a kid, man. My dad played poker a lot. my parents had games at the house, hosted
What
games.
was your first gambling like? What got you into gambling?
Just as a kid, man, like
Rolling dice a little bit,
No, my dad played poker a lot, and
Okay.
so I kind of looked, and he would hate when we played poker as kids. He's like, don't ever gamble.
Yeah.
And then
What happened?
I became a gambler.
Do
So
you
can't
gamble now?
Parental advice. I don't have kids,
Hey,
but
you
parental
get good with it.
advice: don't tell your kids not to do something because they're gonna do it.
Are you still a gambler?
Not as much, man. Now with the business and whatnot, I'm almost 50 years old. I still like to gamble, just on different things, which is why I'm running for alderman.
Yes.
My life is going so good right now. I need to create some kind of hecticness. And
There you go.
they said, yo, if you run for office, things are going to change. Right now, you're a nice guy, everybody likes you, but the second you do this, you're gonna. And it's kind of true. I already see people acting different.
Let's
But
go into so you got down here. I mean, I know you from Big O's. I
yeah,
used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
Big O's is my spot.
Yeah.
For people down here in Oak Springs, Big O was the fucking spot. It was the
Yeah.
sports pub that we'd meet on Sundays. We'd watch the games there. We'd
Yeah.
crawfish there. You'd always take care of us.
yeah,
And that's my first experience of Big O's.
yeah.
Hey, Jordan, switch
Yeah, it was a-
mic's not working right now. Comments say.
It's not working at all.
Hello, hello.
I'll try figuring it out.
That's what we're at.
Oh,
But Big O's. That was like just one of those things where every guy wants a sports bar, And I got into the gold business, and I had this property that I purchased. The restaurant that we leased out to went out of business, and I was like, well, I'm just going to open up a sports bar. And I thought I was really thoughtful the way I designed. Like I sat in every chair, so I could see 5 different TVs from every seat in that place. We had TVs all over the place. It was a really cool spot. And but yeah, every guy wants to own a sports bar, you know what I mean? So I was like, let's do it. And it was interesting.
It was one of the coolest fucking sports pubs in
Yeah.
Ocean Springs.
Yeah,
It was I would always be like, it was like, Friday night, go out, go party, Saturday, we'll party. You hit, and then it's like, I'll meet you at Big O's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a spot, man. For every UFC, we were just jam packed.
Was
Like
there a little more
UFC,
slack in
yeah.
it?
every UFC, we were jam packed. Every major sporting event, we were jam packed. And
So how long have you been in Ocean Springs?
2000,
Plug that into your other one, where your old one.
2000, like Biloxi, 2009, 2010. Then
Okay.
I think I purchased the property in 2011.
And where was that at?
It was right on Highway 90.
Okay.
Can they hear me now?
So it used to be the old break room too.
Yeah.
So it was like, I think it was called Shockwave Bar in the front, and then in the back was the break room too.
Yeah.
So you know where the AT&T place is right here on
I live in
Bienville?
Inlet, so like in
It's more west. So
okay.
you know where the Verizon store is?
Yeah.
It's kind of right behind, right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
You're in the area.
it was like right there, like right. If you just go due north, you run into it. But
Are we good?
No, well,
We're still off.
It's all right. They can hear audio though.
Yeah,
Don't
you
keep
can
talking.
hear it.
So big camera's gone. We got the wide shot for y'all.
all right.
it's back on
Make
now.
sure you format it. You got to format it.
We're on.
Okay.
Format that.
Did you format it like we talked about earlier before the podcast?
Oren wanted to make sure we formatted that
Yeah.
before we even started.
Yeah, I said that before we started. We got to format it.
It's all right.
You
Oren-
gotta get on it. You gotta keep on it.
Sometimes Brad is going to be Brad.
You
Sometimes,
know,
you know.
sometimes.
I
Keep
mean,
on it.
me and Brad are close. I know Brad.
Oren, it's your first time running for office?
Back on?
My
Public
first
office?
time. Yeah, I was. Man, the first time I ever voted for president was this past election.
The first time you
Yeah,
voted?
like I was not a politician. I'm not a politician. I just I just started voting, you know. So it's not too late for people to register. Like I read like this last election, I thought was really important for our country. And I started to vote 49 years old, the first time I ever voted for president.
That's something we always say, man. If you want change, you gotta vote.
Yeah, you got to vote. Yeah, and
Voting locals.
Vote
yeah, and
locally.
voting
Makes it very
locals.
different.
That's where it all starts. Yeah.
You know?
You know, we're neighbors. I know you know that.
Yeah, we live right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for the record, I'm 1 for 1 on my votes for president. So I'm not going to tell you who I voted for,
No.
but I'm 100%. I've never voted for a losing president in my life.
So the ticket you're running on is
So, who did you vote for?
The winner.
No, that. Oh, good.
Yeah. The ticket
You-
I'm running.
you're running on independent, right?
Yeah, I decided independent because look, when I was young, I felt I was a Democrat. I think most young people identify as a Democrat. But now that party's different, man. Democrats now I'm considered a Republican. But I see things that I like in both parties. You know, so I truly identify as independent. Like I think I'm independent.
I like that.
So yeah, like I'm not gonna hey, I'm a Republican just because I live here and I know if I have an R next to my name that people are gonna vote for me. I'm not doing that. Because I do believe in a lot of Republican values, but hey, I feel I used to be a Democrat. People change, so I think I'm independent. Like I think I'm right down the middle. I think most of us are. Yeah, I don't think you need to just check every box to be in one side or the other.
There's the independent market is so tough because there's really it really washes out.
No, yeah.
I mean,
It's hard, yeah.
Well,
Corey Chris is a great friend of mine, and when he decided to run for Biloxi, he came to my house. Me and Emily, and he was sitting with us. His Lauren's wife, shout out Lauren. I love you.
Oh, Lauren, you think?
No, she was my classmate the whole life.
You think I curse? Shit.
But
Lauren. Oh man, Lauren, I love Lauren, man. She's like.
So she was my classmate growing up in grade school.
Yeah.
Corey came by the house and was like, I'm going to run, and he was going to run the last time, but he got stopped during work to say, no, you can't run.
Oh, they didn't want him
down.
to. Yeah.
Well, he came by the house, sat with us, and he goes, I'm running. I said, all right. I said, but what are you running? He goes, are you running independent? Or are you running Democrat?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I'm running Democrat. I said, good. Because for me, it's such a hard wash for voters.
Yeah.
It's such a tough thing because I've been voting for years.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Local voting, which you talked about last week. I'm a big local voter.
No, it's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the independent. It is because I have the views too.
Yeah.
But people don't see it that way. It's either left or right.
Well, here's the thing. They say like you got to pick a side because if you're in the middle, you're going to get squished.
Right.
That's the old saying. And but no, you touched on something like you said you love voting. When I voted, like it was cool, man. I was like you get this euphoria. Like I was in there. I was like, holy shit, I'm actually voting. Like it was cool, and I couldn't wait till the next one. And then, but locally is huge, man. And I think locally, that letter next to your name doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
As an independent,
Like what does it matter locally whether you're a Democrat or a Republican? Right. Like I'm not voting on these huge nationalities. Like
Me and
as
Corey
an
Christie couldn't agree less on national politics, but there's nobody in Biloxi.
But local
I'd
politics,
rather
we can all
stump
see
for.
eye to eye. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's different.
Corey Christie's the monster.
Yeah,
one of my
he's a
favorite
great
people.
dude,
Great
man.
fucking
Yeah.
Great dude. Him and Lauren
He was a
both.
big part
Man.
of this development No Springs. I used to go hang
Yeah.
out, used to walk around and watch his ass bringing artists to chalk the streets.
Yeah. I used to just watch him in his bike shorts, riding his bike around. Hey, I'm sorry, Lauren. My bad.
But yeah, it's the local scene for voting, and I always encourage them. There's a lot of my friends that don't vote, and I can literally have an app where I can pull up your house, and tell you if you vote or not.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So
Really? I can do that.
Yeah.
I can go. I can pull it up. You can. When I used to go campaigning outdoors, a lot of my voting was conservative, so I would go, and before you go knock a door, you can pull up.
Yeah.
If they actually vote.
Are you trying to swing the vote or what?
No, just you don't want.
No, just kind of like a database.
Like if you're going to campaign with a conservative person, you don't want to knock on that person's door. So there's an app that you check left to right.
Yeah. Well. So now I just want I'm doing all this by myself so far. Haven't raised any money, and I don't have a campaign manager. But you sound like you got some skills over there, my man. I might be hiring a campaign manager live right now.
I always had this saying, and he said it last, we're growing up, we learned about voting, and I always believe in people if you don't vote, don't talk to me about politics.
That's what they say. Like, and
I don't want to hear that shit.
And I used to talk a lot, because I love this city, man. If you would have told me 20 years ago, Oren, man, you're gonna love a city and you're gonna be a politician, I'd be like, yo, shut up, man. Like I would punch you in the face. Like that ain't me. I'm no politician. I don't love a city. Like, but man, I love this place, man. Like, and if you follow me on Facebook,
No, your
don't
social
say-
media.
I don't say this because it's election time and I'm looking. If you follow me on Facebook for years, you see I post like how much I love this stuff. It's just I never felt like this about a town. Like these people here, and you guys know as business owners, like they accept us, man. Like it's so cool. Like I've never been accepted like the way this town accepts me and my business. It's just it's the coolest thing, man. Like I just never felt like a city vibe like that. Just love it, man. And again,
you got voted in. People going around like you got voted in to do this, and I also like the whole walk and tall aspect of politics.
Yeah.
Where you take a person that is a hard worker, a person that rolls up their sleeves.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
Carhartt, baby, Carhartt.
Well, Mike Nell.
This ain't Louis Vuitton. This is Carhartt.
Though, right? We had Mike Nell on not too long ago, and he owns a lawn service, Nell's Irrigation.
Yeah.
He's running in Ward 3, right?
3. Yeah.
Ward 3.
Ward 3. Yeah. Oh, Biloxi. Yeah.
And he's he just got that calling of clean up the streets.
Yeah.
I live here. I work here.
Yeah. And that's how I feel, man. Like, man, life's going good for me, man. Like I've had a lot of like health. I'm so fortunate. The last 3 years, like a lot of health, like probably the top 3 worst things you can go through. And I didn't know what the future was going to hold for me. And any small business owner that dealt with what I had to deal with, they probably go out of business. I mean, that's why I closed Big O's. I had a massive heart attack, I had quadruple bypass. And when I was recovering, I'm just like, man, I can't do this. And I just didn't have the crew to do it for me. Yeah.
Like when you were going through that and I knew what you were going through.
Yeah.
You know, me and Paige opened the shop every morning, but I saw you drive by every morning on your golf cart.
Yeah.
And you opened your shop and you continue to work.
Yeah. Well, there was a time for a couple years I couldn't, but in the mornings I would just try to go there so they can see me, you know, my employees.
That's
man,
important, man. You're hard work.
So normally, like in business, if you're not there, like in a small business, like imagine you two aren't here and you just got to rely on employees. And most places like this, man, my sales were just steady. They didn't go up. They didn't go down. Man, they were steady. And these guys I have, these girls I have,
yeah,
man, they have no idea what they mean to me. Like they have no clue what they mean to me.
Hard it is to find good people, man.
Yeah.
When you got a good team, man,
I got the best. They're like, and I know people say, "Oh, we're family." We do, man. For me, because I don't have a lot, but they really are like my family. I will do anything for. Like I'm telling you, I'm so fortunate to have them because, like I say, I closed down Big O's because my health issues, and the health issues I've had now were even worse. I mean, heart.
Would you like to talk about it, or you can hold that to yourself?
Well, I mean, we talk about it.
What Oren won't tell you is that not long before that, his own brother was having some health issues, and Oren won't tell you that he basically shut down his business life for his brother when his brother was going through all that.
He got into a bad car accident.
And
he's so lucky to be alive.
Oren really took real good care of that.
He came
guy.
stay with me.
He won't tell
broke
you that.
every bone. So Facebook, like if you know me on Facebook, I just want to post positive, fun shit. You know, funny, make people laugh. So I don't post like the stuff that I gotta go through. You know, because I don't want to bring people down. And but you asked what I was going through. I went to get my shoulder scoped because I had a shoulder injury and I want to start working out. I went to get my shoulder scoped because I want to start lifting weights again. And I was feeling good. And they did an MRI and they found lumps in my neck. And the doctor's like, yo, you got some lumps in your neck. You might want to get it checked out. So I'm like, shit, all right. And he said, we'll wait on the surgery for the shoulder. So we got the lumps checked out and they did a scan. And when they did the scan on the lumps, they found my carotid was actually blocked. So they did a biopsy on the lumps. They came back cancerous. But it was thyroid cancer, which is rare in men, you know. But, you know, they say like if you had to choose a cancer, you want to choose thyroid cancer because it's really treatable. And so I felt fortunate about that. So when it came back, they did the biopsy, came back, and then they did another scan. They found my carotid had a soft blockage, which is really dangerous because it could break out and shoot up, and you just have a stroke immediately. So before they could do that, they had to take out my thyroid. So, but before they could do that, they had to get my carotid cleared out. So they sliced me open from ear to here, and then cleaned out my carotid, and then I had to wait for that to heal, and that was brutal, man. I was just swollen. Then when that healed, then they cut me back open from here to here, took out my thyroid, and they had like 79 lymph nodes all over. it was a brutal surgery, and it was a brutal recovery. And then when I was going through that, you know, I was in the hospital bed, and I looked down, and my toe was turning purple, and I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. And one of the nurses was like, yo, have you ever had that checked out? I'm like, man, I just started. I don't know what that is. And I'm diabetic. And then I had like another kind of like cut on the right part of my foot. Ends up being like diabetic. I forgot. Anyways, it gets infected real bad. They had to cut 2 of my toes. They wanted to cut my leg off because I didn't have a lot of blood flow to my leg. The doctor, man, God bless that doctor. He looked at me like I was family or something. Because normally they'll just be like, yo, let's just cut the leg off, like right below the knee. It'll be clean. Because I didn't have blood flow. They couldn't cut the toes. That doctor went in twice to try and get blood to my foot so he can do, and he did it twice. And they got blood. So they just took the toe, like 2 of my toes off. And,
is that a local doctor?
Which one?
Local doctor?
Yeah.
You want to give him a shout out? Man, I appreciate doctors who take that extra step, man.
My memory right now. Jeez.
Well, you had a lot going on. I mean,
yeah,
I'm just saying,
and a lot of memories. McGee, Dr. McGee in Pascagoula, vascular surgeon. He's actually the one that did my carotid. So when the guy saw my toe, he's like, hey, I'm going to call, do you know Dr. McGee? I'm like, yeah, he just did my carotid. It was just wild because the first time I went into him for my carotid, like I see people with like amputated legs. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Yeah. You know, and then sure enough, I'm in that position 3 months later, like with no warnings about it. And, so yeah, Dr. McGee in Pascagoula, man, he gave me his phone number. He's like, yo, you call me whenever you need me.
That's an extra step.
That was unbelievable to me. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, how lucky am I? I talked to my buddy that the infection was so bad in the bone. I was ready to get my leg cut off. I talked to a few guys I knew with amputations. I'm like, I'm ready, man. Cut it off. Just get this pain away. And so I talked to my one best friend, you know, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I talk to people, and from a kid growing up, he still lives in Florida. He's like, and I'm like, everyone's telling me just cut the leg off below the knee and you'll be. And so he goes, Oren, I'm going to ask you a question. Out of all those people who told you just cut your leg off, how many of them had one leg? I'm like, none of them. He's like, yeah, they both had 2 legs. He goes, fuck that, man. Like, do everything you can to save your leg. And, you know, I did. And that doctor was unbelievable. And
so all that while your girls kept you going over there.
Yeah. My business didn't, it didn't skip a beat, man.
So, you know, I sell bagels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're breakfast.
Like, hey, sell bagel. I'm like,
no, but so look, when they come in here, I tell everybody, they say, do you make your bagels? I say, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I make them cool, but I don't make them. And, I said, Mark, we said that. I said, Mark and Deli right down here, Oren. I said, making all his bagels. Got his own cream cheeses, like rocking it out.
I might be going wholesale, so maybe we could work something out.
Okay.
And yet, see, people talk about competition and shit like that.
Man,
there's no competition. To me, it's collaboration.
In this town, there is.
You know, it's collaboration. People don't realize, like, hey, a bar opened up a bar. Well, guess what? Guess why everyone's coming to this town? Because we have 20 bars and 15 bars and 18, 20, 30 places to eat.
Point, the 2 biggest volume places are both selling Greek cuisine across the street from each other.
And they're both jam-packed every night.
Yeah,
people eat every day, you know. Some people eat multiple times a day, you know.
A lot of the restaurants and stuff downtown Biloxi, you know, they were against the casinos early on.
Yeah.
Now they're the biggest benefactors.
Yeah, of course.
Of the casinos.
Yeah, people come
for those restaurants.
And then they want to go off, you know, off the casino site. And so to me, it's collaboration.
I want to know, like, let's go. So Big O's, everybody knows Big O's here, in those Springs, but the bagel.
Yeah.
Go from fucking Big O's.
Yeah, believe it or not.
I already know.
Again, that's another thing. Like,
I already know, man. You're tired at night.
I never made a bagel in my life. I never made a bagel. But I fucking love bagels, man. I love bagels. So I had an opportunity. So after Big O closed, I didn't work. You know, I pretty much kind of lived off what I saved. And it was a few years because of the heart attack and whatnot. And then a friend of mine, she had a little catering business. She's like, hey, you want to buy my business? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look at your numbers. I looked at her numbers. I'm like, yo, you got a nice business. Like, what's the problem? She's like, I don't know if I want to stay here in Ocean Springs. And so I was like, how about I just come hang out? I'll work with your managers. Let me see how your business runs. Maybe we could partner. She's like, okay, cool idea. So I went there. She ends up leaving and moving. So I'm like, hey, look, this isn't my thing. I don't do catering. It's just not my thing. I don't want to do anything I don't love to do. So I'm like, how about I just buy you out, and I'm like, I'll do bagels. I'll learn how to make bagels, and I'll have a bagel because I just wanted a good bagel. And the closest place, I swear to you, that's the only reason. I just wanted a good bagel. So I'm like, fuck, I'll learn it. I've learned everything I had to learn in life. It might take me longer to learn something, but I've always accomplished what I needed to, other than losing weight. But I'm starting to do that now.
Hey, true story. I never drank coffee till we bought this place.
Really?
I was going to say, like, I was learning how to make coffee when he was in New York.
Yeah.
Well, it was my birthday, and I didn't know that we were going to do this, but here we did it.
And when we bought this place, we didn't know how to make coffee.
Yeah.
So
seriously.
And there you go. And now it's a passion. And now
there was
you
a
love
cheat
it.
sheet behind the bar, and it wasn't accurate either, so everything was fucked.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. No, the way you guys feel about that is exactly the way I feel, man. The first time I met you, you had to join in Gulfport.
No, I was subletting from the Irish Coast.
Yeah, you had to join there. Mm-hmm. I forgot who brought me there.
Katie.
Katie. Mm-hmm. I didn't forget it. I just didn't want her to think that I just didn't want her to think I remembered her. Like, no, I'm just messing with you. No, but
well, I don't remember everything.
Yeah, no, she was a food rep.
Yeah, she was working for the
Gulf Coast
produce.
So here's a funny story how Katie, guys. So Big O's, that building. So when I took the building over after the people I leased it to went out of business, some Italian joint, everyone would come, all these food vendors would come by, and then 6 months later, Katie shows up, and she's like, "Hey, I'm Gulf Coast Produce." I'm like, "Well, shit, you're 6 months late. I'm in business already." She's like, "Well, we had a blackout date on this property for 6 months or something, like, to where we wanted to make sure you stayed in business." So I'm like, "Oh,
hell of a thing."
Okay. I looked at her card. I go, "Well, here you go. I got a blackout date on you for the next 6 months to make sure I'm going to do business with you." And hey, you don't believe in me, I'm not going to believe in you.
Nicer than I was.
But sure enough, I was just like, we ended up doing business, and that's how I met Katie. But yeah, good. She's sweetheart.
How long did it take you to make a good bagel?
It took me honestly, like, probably 4 or 5 months to really, but honestly, even like right now, like when the weather changes, I'm still learning, man. It's been 6 years, but I just kept, so I go on YouTube and I'm looking at all these recipes, and I'm looking at recipes and 15 recipes. Now I'm looking at the common denominator on all the recipes. I'm like, okay, these are the 3 things you need to make a bagel. You need yeast, water, flour, salt. So I'm like, okay, that's what I need to make a bagel. Everything else is a variation for people. So I started doing it. And how long do you need the dough? How long do you do the dough a day before? We do ours a day before. Like a real bagel, you want that yeast to develop flavor. So it took me a while, man, like a good 4 or 5 months before I was comfortable. And some people who came in the beginning, they got some shitty bagels, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, dude, they got some shitty bagels. And I feel bad for those people. And they'll probably never come back again. But now, man, I am so proud of those. Like, diabetes wise, those bagels raise my blood sugar like crazy. So I eat one very, I don't eat them as much as I want to, but every time I do, I'm like, damn, man, these are good. Like, man, these are like, I still in awe as to how
fresh
how I create, man, if you can come in the morning and get them fresh, don't toast that shit. Don't toast a fresh made bagel. But hey, if you want to, I'm not judging. I'm going to judge.
We're 70% tourism. I tell them, it's like, are y'all making your bagels? I said, absolutely not. Not ever. Have we ever once made a bagel? Yeah. I said, I'm right down there to you, man.
And Mark, I saw you in Sam's, and I was like, is this one?
Yeah. Sue from the bakery saw me at Sam's. She's just like, I saw you in the bagel shop. I'm like, yeah, I got him.
We had a big.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. But no, I'm really proud of those things, man. They turned out so good. Took a while, but
so when is the vote for? It's April 3rd.
So April 1st is the primary, and now so because I'm running as an independent,
right? Your situation.
I'm in the general election, so that's going to be June 3rd. So June 3rd is that's when you can vote for me, and I got voter registrations printed out at my joint. You come to the bagel shop if you're not a registered voter. Is this camera working right here?
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, this camera's working. Look. I was 49, 48 when I first registered to vote, so it's not late. I got registration forms at my shop. And you come to my shop, we'll fill them out. I'll take you in the golf cart to City Hall. It's a block away. We're going to register you to vote, and you're going to vote for a winner.
Oren,
because it's never too late.
No, I'm sorry. Do your spill.
No, that's it. Like I need
No.
the only way I'm going to win this thing is if I get people who don't normally vote to vote. I'm an underdog.
But that's interesting. So, do you know how many? What is the is there on record? Do you know how many votes come in for Alderman at large?
So I don't know I know the mayoral race 4 years ago, which was really tight, man, really tight. Melanie was phenomenal. Like I love Melanie Allen, and Kenny Holloway's a good dude too, man. Like they both were my customers.
Well, they come in around 4,500.
Like 100 and something votes.
Well, total. I'm saying the total votes 4,500.
Yeah, so about 20 something hundred a piece.
So like,
do you know what?
It was a difference of 100.
It was like 100 and something.
At large is unique because everybody can vote.
But now everyone's going to be able to vote for at large as well. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of voters. But I'm going to need the people who've never voted before for me to have a chance.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a politician.
You're not lying. Like you have to. Like you're going to have to vote because it will come down to the wire, especially with a local.
Yeah.
Most real like local voting is like, if you look, it's like 100 votes. Or 25 votes, or 5 votes.
It's so close, man. Like it's so close. And it's like, and I know, man, it's tough to get out and vote and whatnot, but like you said earlier, be the change, man. Like you got to get out, vote. And again, you know, am I the most experienced guy out there? No, I'm not a politician, but I feel like I've made great decisions in life, and I feel like you can change my mind. And I want to listen to what people are like, hey, what's your platform? What are you running on? I'm like, well, what are your concerns? And they think I'm just like saying that because I really want to know what my platform is, what your concerns are. Like parking garage, trees, whatever it may be. Like, I want to know what your concerns are. You can change my mind.
Your platform is that you're a business owner.
Yeah, well, I'm a business, but I live here too. So as a business owner,
your platform, I mean, but you understand money. I mean, like, you understand like transaction of business equals survival.
Growth. Yeah. So growth is great, and that's where I feel like. So I have my business right in downtown. You know, food and beverage. So if hotels open up, that's great for me. But personally, I like driving my golf cart, and I like it when it's quiet. You know, like I'm 50. I don't want the whole party scene, but I will go out and enjoy it. Man, I think downtown for me is busting at the seams. And like, you know, I know they're talking about making a hotel right here, right down the road, and that would be great for both our businesses.
Well, personally, I don't think it can go any further down because of the churches, right?
Schools, everything. But
churches,
yeah, I mean, I'm just
stop here.
I think we need to go east on 90. I think we need to build out there. You know, I guess where they open up a Chipotle and a Chick-fil-A out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people agree with that, you know. So everyone says we want balance, we want preservation and growth, responsible growth. But, you know, I'm the one that's been talking about this before I even was thinking about politics. Like, I think the growth is great. I think what's happened here in the last 4 years, I think any city, if you go to any mayor in this country and just look at the numbers of growth for this city in the last 4 years, they'd be like, holy crap, that mayor is an all-star. But this city's, it's a little different because we're a small town and we want to stay a small town. So it really is, it's a balancing act, which is hard, man. And the mayor we got now gets a lot of flack for it. And that sucks because in his mind, he's doing what any city would want to do. But again, our city's different. We're small. We got a small town vibe. We want to keep that small town vibe. So it's such a hard balancing act.
It's hard to keep a small town. Like, so I'm from here.
Yeah.
That hospital right there. I grew up a Halstead right there.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived on Beckham.
Yeah.
And I mean, shit, in the 90s, I would ride this road.
Yeah.
I would go and grab food, but it wasn't hopping. It wasn't a small town charm. It was just a couple little businesses.
Yeah.
So that for me, that's another thing too. Is like everybody wants a small town charm, but it didn't happen until like Kenny was talking after Katrina.
Yeah.
Then we started bringing in bars. Yeah. The grocery, for instance, is the landmark of bars down here. They have the grocery has always been that spot.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I see what people are like.
That's a cool vibe, that joint. By the way, the grocery, most underrated chicken wings on the coast, man. I love their chicken wings. But it's a traditional. I love that.
Spicy
Get the
beef.
chicken wings, bro. Get the chicken wings, the hot wings, man. So
the big thing though I have is there's a lot of people here that are like, well, I've been in Ocean Springs for 10 years, but are you from Ocean Springs?
Yeah.
And Kenny is from Ocean Springs. His parents' house is on Porter Avenue.
Yeah.
So it's a situation where like you bring people here, if they fall in love with a place, you got to have a place for them to move into.
Yeah.
You can't just have one area. And I'm a firm believer in that. People deserve, if they like a place, we got to make room for it.
Yeah. What's also really tough is that, I grew up here as well. And when I was graduating from high school, everybody was in a rush to get out of here because there wasn't anything.
Because there was nothing here.
There was nothing here. Yeah. There was no opportunity, nothing going on.
Yeah.
They left. They left for 20 years. They left a void behind them. And guess what? That void was filled by a bunch of foreigners. And you know what? We welcome them.
Yeah.
But you can't
I feel
because
welcome.
There's nothing here and then be upset that it blew up.
Yeah.
Because if this stuff didn't happen, people would still be leaving here when they graduated.
And it would still be tourists that come here on the weekend. They're ready to buy a home.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, they love it here. But it's the people though. Yeah. It's not all the it's the bars. But it's the people, man. That's the reason why I stayed in this area. I will never live in another area again. Like I go back home down to South Florida. So growing up in South Florida, it's just like. You walk around as a kid and someone waves and someone waves and smiles at you. You're like, hey man, what the fuck you smiling at? Like, that's what we would tell people, Now I go back down to South Florida and because I live here so long, I wave and smile at people like, yo, what the fuck? Now I'm the guy that they're like, what are you smiling at? So it's the people,
So, one of my good friends, Ricky Alderman.
Yeah.
And he was from, I think, Gonzales, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
And he's worked for Jitney Jungle Del Champs. And he came here for work, be a manager. Came here, fell in love with this place, and worked at the grocery store. He's like, I'm never leaving.
Yeah.
Started Hibbs home inspection.
Yeah.
Now he's on Ward 2. But he's like, he's not from here, but he fell in love. I think 98 is when he moved here.
Yeah.
And he never looked back. He's like, I'm never leaving this place.
Yeah. He fucking moved here in 98. He's from here.
Yeah, and people would tell.
And then you got Dr. Hirsch, who literally broke down in his Volkswagen bus just passing through.
Yeah.
And that dude's a legend here.
Yeah.
And he just broke down on his way to California or something.
And people will say, and they're like, oh, you're not from here, blah, 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 and this and that. And I'm like, I moved here after Katrina. I moved here after Katrina, like right after Katrina to work at the Beau Rivage. And the game plan for
where were you at?
Poker Room.
E70.
Oh, you worked A7? Yeah, I worked in the Poker Room.
Yeah, I came down from North Mississippi. That's what brought me down here.
Yeah, that's what brought me, the Poker Room. And it was it was great, the Poker Room, but So I moved here for that, and so what this place was.
That's why I moved here.
Yeah,
so our story is very similar.
So what it was like after Katrina. There was nothing, man. This place was demolished, and so people were like, "Oh yeah, you moved after Katrina." I'm like, "Well, look, I stayed here. I moved here to help. We rebuilt this place where there were people who were from here who left. So to me, it's like, and then they come back after it's rebuilt. Like I was here, there was nothing here, and there was." So I feel like, I think I paid some dues,
No, that's how I feel.
I've been here almost 20 years. Yeah. I've been here most of my adult life.
I got in a very creative argument with somebody the other day about how long I've been here, and they said I wasn't a local.
Yeah, but, and that's fine. Like I get it.
All that? Like
them.
Yeah, no, there's an unofficial list.
So what I'm saying is
you got to be at 16.
You agree with people?
I think. Yeah, 16.99.
Or and you agree with people can come here because it's fucking cool and everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
So what is Save OS? Because I have all these tourists coming here and they ask me like, what's Save OS? Because they see these signs.
So man,
is Save OS saying don't do anything else?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like this Save OS, it's a group. I hate the verbiage of Save OS.
Yeah, it's heavy.
What are you saving OS from? Like we got other group, Keep Ocean Springs Charming.
Economic development.
That sounds nice. Keep Ocean Springs Charming. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Save OS. People come here just like you said. This place is awesome. What are you saving it from?
What is Save OS?
The Save, and to me, it's like, well,
I don't really have an answer.
We've gone through a lot of growth. I don't know what they want to save OS from. So there's people who started the group and they have their views, and I'm not look, the platform, I'm cool with their platform. Hey, let's keep things small. Let's not, because I feel downtown is kind of busting at the seams. But
it's busted at the seams, but it's all small business.
But like we were talking, it's small local businesses. These people save us like, one of the founders would go to these local businesses with a decibel meter.
I heard about that.
And then go to the city, right? Go to the city. Hey, look, they're too loud. And the city's like, well, our rules are that they shut it off at midnight. And look, I lived right behind rooftop in their backyard, and that was loud. But I chose to live there. I got a sound machine in my room, and I played the sound machine drum. Come 12 o'clock, everything was done. They shut it down. So I didn't go out complaining. I didn't go with a decibel meter. So she went to the city. The city didn't want. They're like, hey, look, they're following the guidelines that we set. But instead, how about just go to these local businesses? Say, guys, you mind quieting down? And a lot of local businesses did. I know Juke Joint, they were cool. They were like, they lowered their music. They don't do all that outside music. So the local businesses do want to help the residents.
You pull out shout out to Guido. I love Guido.
I love Guido. People mistake me for Guido all the time.
Remove the juke joint.
Yeah.
Remove it.
Yeah.
You're not going to bring people here.
No, man.
That's the thing. Is you're taking people. Then eventually you're not going to have the downtown district because nobody can make money.
And then your property value is going to go to shit.
Yeah.
Like all these people who are like, so this person, now she goes back to the bars again with the decibel meter during live music, And I'm telling this story because managers of these places have told me this. I don't talk because it's not true. And then she's going to the employees, trying to get the employees to sue their employer because there's OSHA regulations of how many decibels. But it's 8 hours. Yeah.
That's going to be OSHA?
Safety. Yeah.
I'm not sure it falls under OSHA.
Yeah. Work safety.
Decibels.
Yeah. Because it's like you're going to damage your hearing.
When you're at home.
Yeah. So they're doing all this stuff. And they're doing it against local small businesses. They're not doing it against a Walmart. They're doing it against local small businesses. That's not saving OS. That's not keeping Ocean Springs charming. That's causing fighting. And so, I made a post on Facebook and I called them out. I was like, that's not cool, man. You don't do that kind of thing. That's not saving anything. We work together as people. Go to the managers, and the person will twist the story, and she'll say, "Oh, well, I had such great talks with managers and blah blah blah." And another owner even told me, like, "Man, I spoke with her, and I said I'll get back to you." And then I heard she's telling people, "Oh yeah, we spoke, and he agreed with everything." This particular person twists a lot of the truth, and it's just so Save OS to me, the platform, saving trees, like keeping our canopy. Man, I love our canopy, man. Of course I want to keep that. Yeah. I think a lot of us agree with a lot of principles of Save OS. I think a lot of us do, but it's just the tactics that the two people that created it are just so it's not Ocean Springs.
So it sounds to me like somebody very important to me. He's intellectual. It sounds like Save OS is radical love, and there's an ideal that
radical.
Well, there's an ideal that any business growth is radical right.
Yeah,
because that's kind of how media portrays it.
Yeah,
but your average American is a midway.
Yeah, most of us. And
that would fall. It could almost be an ideal of independent.
Yeah,
but we're not ready to accept that yet because RNC, DNC are both private
Powerful.
institutions.
Yeah, they're so powerful.
Yeah, they're private institutions.
Yeah. I'm with Oren though. I believe that a lot of their ideals are right. We do want to save the tree.
We were talking about
we do want to keep
the botanical
charm, but I would say that their approach to that goal
their tactics
right now.
Their tactics
are
proactive.
A lot of these people they're reactive. They wait until the permit's been pulled and then they protest, but they're not out there really actively engaging themselves and buying these properties to keep that.
And these people have a lot of money.
They have a lot of money. And
they have a lot of money.
OS charming. This is my message to y'all. Get proactive. We're with you.
Yeah.
But instead of being reactive, be proactive. Get out there and do something.
Yeah.
You have a lot of opportunity. If you squander it, that's on you. And the more you think about and act on what you don't want, the more you're going to get it. The more you act on and think about what you do want, the more you're going to get that.
Yeah,
think about what you do want and act on it. That's
Yeah, we work together in Ocean Springs. We all work together. We've always worked together. Like you can't going after our mayor all the time, going after our alderman all the time.
So, real quick on this is a big one that was for me. And it took Butler probably 7 years for the fans. But I mean, it took me 4 years on the podcast.
Yeah.
And fighting with him because he had like Dr. Saul's was going to get one of the front beach stands.
Yeah.
But then there was the homeowners, same group was like, no, we want this change. We don't want this. There was at one time, there's 42 units pretty much all booked and ready to sell.
Yeah.
They stopped the project.
Yeah.
Until like last year.
They waited till the infrastructure was all done and then they stopped it.
But now we're back up running. But now with interest rates.
Yeah. The building materials skyrocketing. It's going to cost these homeowners more money.
It's been a little. It's there because it's going to happen. It's happening right now. We finally won. But if they would just left it alone and been like, hey, you know what? If you really know Ocean Springs before Katrina, that was a trap house apartments for 6 acres. That was just
and that's what I've been told. And I wasn't here.
I was there. I used to go there. It was a trap house. It's just like
I used to. It was a trap house. I went every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
At least once a week.
We ain't going no more though. We ain't going no more.
Yeah, but it's no longer there. Yeah. Butler
no, the new trap house is at 18 to no.
So like the fact that two buddies, a couple partners had an idea design that they wanted to do a style of like a Santa Rosa Beach.
Yeah.
42 beautiful units. Now we got 31.
Yeah.
And actually just walked. I was on the golf cart with Oliver. Got to see it. It's almost done. Like they're starting to work.
Yeah.
But at the time, people were locked in. I mean, and they were like, well, these people are going to do it. Dr. Sauls, Jeffrey Sauls is a big part of this downtown area.
Yeah.
He was going to buy one.
Yeah.
So what are you going to say about him? Like,
yeah.
You know, like
well, that's the thing. They create this narrative and how everyone was against it. I was in the middle of the thick of this. There was a group I'll give credit to the person who brought the lawsuit out. They won the lawsuit. So they did bring out some stuff to light that was done that was probably shouldn't have been done. But once the lawsuit came out and the residents, everyone in the area saw the project and they were like, well, hey, this is a good project. Like, we want this. You know, hey, they did something they shouldn't have done, but it's cool. We want these. And the builder was like, well, look, I can build another apartment again if I wanted to, but I want to build nice homes. So my issue is that even though they did win the lawsuit and they were correct in how some of the things transpired, like you got to be for the people. And if the people of the city and a lot of the people who lived around there, they wanted the houses. They were scared that the builder was going to build an apartment complex again. So they're like, no, let's just let them build houses. So there was like not many people that were a part of that lawsuit.
Oh no.
Yeah, not many. And
list their names.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to. Look, well, they're gonna spin the story to people who are new to say, hey, we were right and we won and blah blah blah. But they weren't. I was a part of it. They had a Facebook group, and this was a Facebook group during the last election.
But it wasn't building on their house, on their property. It wasn't. This 6 acres was apartment was not in the best condition.
Yeah,
because I'm from here.
No, you know what it was before. Yeah.
So it's like, but then they got this whole new group that caused a lot of this stuff. But it's like, it's not even on their land. It's not their land. It's just their view.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not even like nobody's building on their land.
Yeah, that's
like
the
other
thing,
people's
man.
land are thinking
that someone, and you know what's sad about that thing that a lot of people forgot? The owner never even gets to see this happen because he got hit. He got
his dog in Gulfport. I never got to meet him either.
Gets hit by a car.
Podcast, but I never got to meet him personally.
Yeah.
And the guy has done so much for the community, millions of dollars,
and never gets to see this come to fruition.
Yeah, his dog gets killed.
Yeah,
Oren, we've got our first political campaign question for you.
Oh,
we got one from Haven Lyons. Oren, how do you plan to bring transparency back to City Hall?
Well, I mean, if you know me, you know I can't shut my mouth.
No, you're transparent.
I'm as transparent. Like, I'm not quiet, and I don't have buddies on the board. Although I'm friendly with everybody, but I'm going to call people out if I see something. I can't shut my mouth, and I'm really active on social media a lot. So that's what I'm going to do. Like, hey, guys, this is what we have on the agenda today. how do you feel about it? It's not how I feel about it. How do we all feel? There's 6 wards. So it's not just one ward where a lot of people live that we're going to worry about. We're going to worry about all 6 wards. And if anyone knows me, they just know it's hard for me to keep quiet. I've been to a couple of these meetings, and maybe I'm going to learn once I get elected. Thank you guys. That, hey, Oren, you're not allowed to say this X, Y, and Z. You're not allowed to respond to this. Maybe they're going to, show me the ropes, but if it's not illegal, I'm going to talk, So I don't think transparency is anything. Like, there's people who have been a part of the administration, whether they've been on planning or zoning or whatever for the past X amount of years. And I haven't heard anything like the parking garage, like that's going to be good for our business. Right. But I was against it. Like I was against the public money going to private use. I was against that, because, being in South Florida and all these other larger cities, when public money goes to private use, the public usually gets the short end of the stick, and so I don't mind the parking garage. It's just the public money going for private use is what I don't like.
It's private. Maybe I didn't understand that.
So I went on Facebook when they were talking about it, and I was like, look, I don't like this idea. I don't like BP money going to private people. And people are like, oh, why are you attacking the people who open up the parking garage? I'm not attacking them. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Good for them. I hope they do great. And it looks beautiful now. I'm not saying.
Well, we asked that question to Kenny. We were like,
yeah.
Is it going to be paid parking or is it going to be free parking?
No, it's free.
It's supposed to be free parking.
We asked that question. He was like, well, he wasn't sure. But
no, I don't think. Well, it was free.
No, it's supposed to be free parking.
Free.
So the city leases it out. From one of the aldermen told me the city leases it out for $1 a year for 50 years. So the city doesn't even own it. So for me, it's like, we're leasing it out. They got BP money. We're leasing it out. So now I'm assuming, and I don't know the facts, but I'm assuming because we're leasing it out and it's the cities, that we're going to be responsible for the maintenance. So now they got a parking garage for the businesses over there and the residents, and the city is going to be paying for maintenance on the parking garage. So it's everything that I thought was going to happen. It was probably even worse than what I thought because I didn't know about all the businesses. But again, I'm not hating on the businesses. I think it's great. It's going to be great for us. It's going to bring us more people to our businesses. But it was the public money, and good for them. Like I say, I'm not hating on the owners. If you say, hey, there's a grant for bagel shops, sign me up for as much as I can get. I want as much money as I can get. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's a part of the game, it's just. So as far as transparency, like people think I'm so pro business because I own a business. Like I'm just pro city, Ocean Springs, like there's Ocean Springs and there's Oxford, Mississippi, and those 2 cities are like what everybody wants to be like.
That's what the mayor of Oxford said. This is the south Oxford.
Yeah, man, we're better than Oxford, man. Yeah. But people want to be here. So we should never have to bend over for people. Hey, you want to come here? You want to develop something? Well, here are our regulations and our zoning. This is what you're allowed to build. And if you want to play by our rules, great. If not, I got a line of 20 people behind you that are going to build by our rules. We don't have to bend the rules. And like I heard what happened with the, they had Kenny on recording about a builder who wants to build the condominiums. I don't know if you know about, there's a property that was sold. Yeah. And so, and I heard the recording and I listened to it. And now I've had businesses, I had gold businesses every city on the coast. And so I dealt with zoning, and I own commercial properties in a couple other cities. So I have people that I lease businesses to, and hey, Oren, I want to get a sign. They need this from the business owner. There's zoning. One's in downtown Biloxi, which is historical. So I've dealt with cities, and so I understand the regulations. So what I heard in that recording where they tried to really make Kenny look really bad, I heard the city trying to work with a builder, trying to show the builder, hey, this is okay. So these are our regulations. If you have a store on the bottom, you can get away with building your condo, And so the cities have done that for me a lot. Like, hey, Oren, these are the regulations. If you want this sign, if you do this, it falls within our regulations. And people are like trying to vilify. And again, like, I'm not backing Kenny. I'm not backing Bobby. I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet, but I'm just seeing things like, as someone who's got no interest on either side. And I'm seeing people talk on social media. Oh, that's despicable. What happened? It's the worst. Like, no, you don't know what cities are like. This is what cities do. They help business owners, try and get a business in their city. But they're saying because he knew someone who knew someone. Like, I don't know, man. I'm okay with growth as long as it's by our rules. Transparency. Hey, this is what these people want to build. It doesn't fall under these guidelines. And again, I don't like to see public money going to private use, but there are cases where you can make a valid point. Hey, man, if we give X amount, it will come back over this much time. And
I think
it would
that's
be
the best way to get some of these kind of projects done in a way that actually makes sense for both parties. Because right now you've got a lot of people who are against any condo or any major development.
Yeah.
But, if we can make a deal where, where we leave some public use, we leave a public benefit, something that benefits the community, and make a deal. And make a deal where it benefits both parties. I think that's a good.
And builders, builders really want to help. I'm not sure a lot of them just want to make as much money as they can. Maybe most of them, but in this town, these builders come to this town. They know we don't mess around. Like, you got to kind of conform to what we want, and I guess there's just an optic over the last 4 years that there wasn't a lot of confirmation and people were kind of like getting special treatment and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's why I want to be there for the transparency. Getting back to Haven's question, it was a pretty long loop, but
I don't think transparency will never be a problem for you.
No, it won't. And maybe to my detriment at sometimes, but one thing you're never going to wonder about me is where I stand on something or how I feel and the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether
you speak your mind.
Yeah. I do, like I've just found, like, growing up in these circles I grew up in, everything was so strategic and tactic, and there were hustlers everywhere. And I'm, I think I mastered that game, and I'm just older now and I'm tired. I just rather be honest, because I people just like, hey, I can't let my guard down. I can't tell people where I stand. Now this is where I stand. This is who I am. I'll give you every opportunity to just kind of screw me over, and if you do it one time, then, we no longer have a relationship. But and I met two of the other aldermen, great guys, Ron, Matthew. I want to meet the other guys who are running because, hey guys, we work together. If I lose and you win, I'm going to support you, and I would hope for the reciprocation to that. So everyone's going to know, they all know where I stand. There's no lack of transparency,
So the Save OS shot down the marina expansion.
Marina expansion.
Yeah, they had a.
I don't know if Save OS. I think most of the residents didn't.
They were
really
a strong
want that.
factor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
where were you at on that?
I don't know, man. Like, I love that the beach is so slow. I love it, man. I love driving my golf cart and there's nothing there. So the condos, I'm torn about the condos. I like that big empty ass lot, but you know what? I didn't spend millions of dollars on that lot.
Shit.
So the guy that spends the millions of dollars on that lot is entitled to make his money on that lot, as long as he plays by the rules, And again, that recording that some people are just trying to blow out of proportion, where I think most of us kind of realize that's what cities do. They try to help builders fall under the guidelines of what we have. Now, doing special exceptions, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, not a big fan of special exceptions, but that marina.
A lot of hypotheticals, and we're turning them around as if that was the plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you're going to help them do this.
Deal on 90, man, with all this new infrastructure. What are we gonna do? Because have you been by Minge Avenue lately with the new Buc-ee's?
Man,
it's a 5-lane highway now.
Yo, that brisket though, they need 6 lanes for that brisket.
So what are we
that brisket is phenomenal at Buc-ee's. I ain't even kidding, bro. I'm gonna be driving down there just to get brisket. And
their chicken salad's better.
I want my own lane. Their chicken salad's better.
Man. It's better than yours.
Shit, you're crazy.
And yours is my favorite.
You're crazy, Buc-ee's.
This
guy don't support local.
I still haven't had your smash burger.
Man, smash burger. We grind our own meat with the smash burger. We grind it fresh in house. Man, when we first started that smash burger, I didn't invent the smash burger. That shit was invented years ago. But when I brought it, I mean, no one's knowing this. I'm like, and I like a grilled burger. I like a thick, like the Project Lounge burger, like knuckleheads.
Still never had one.
I like a thick grilled burger, flame grilled. That's what I used to do at Big O's. You remember? That Big O's burger was the best burger I ever made in my life. We do chuck brisket and burger.
Also, would say the crawfish Sundays. Let's be honest.
Oh, Big O's.
Fuck yeah.
Man, those crawfish were lit. Man, we did thousands of pounds every weekend.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, I used to go to Big O's for all the UFC fights.
Man, we were jam-packed for the UFCs, weren't we?
Loved it.
But what was your question? I got sidetracked. I get sidetracked a little bit. I don't remember.
No, dude, I was
Let's talk about the 6 lane.
Amazed by it. Like, I was thinking, I just wanted to be a part of that business still with me. Whoever the Buc-ee's owners are. Like,
oh, the Highway 90. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Highway 90. It is. I mean, I don't know how much we can grow Highway 90, like extra lanes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, with all this new infrastructure downtown. Like,
You're thinking we got to grow on Highway 90?
Yeah, I mean.
So when I had my business down, when I had Big O's, the chamber, man, me and the chamber had it in, man. Like, and I came to one of the meetings, and Cynthia, man, Cynthia's a hard worker, She busts her ass, and I respect her a lot. And me and her had it in quite a few times. And I say that out here. I don't, like I say, where I stand with everybody. But now, man, I respect that lady. She works, man, especially that Peter Anderson. Man, hardest working woman in town by far. And Will's normally the hardest working guy. You see Will walking from one restaurant to another with a little piddle pattering, like walking this golf walk. Like, but Cynthia during Peter Anderson, and really during a lot, she's a hard worker, man. So we had a meeting back when I had Big O. What's that?
She was actually in here earlier, location scouting.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So when I had Big O's and we came for a meeting, and that's when the chamber was just focusing on downtown, So, man, I thought I saw 2 people. I saw your reaction.
Yeah. Dude, there was a Mississippi Power guy in here not too long ago, man. He said this.
The Grant guy?
Yeah, he said it was possible that they would be expanding 90 out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think they want to do that. 90's got a lot of flooding. They got to work. They got a lot of flooding issues on 90, So
5 o'clock in the afternoon or any time, like.
Yeah, it can get bad.
It's bad.
But yeah, so we're talking about the chamber. So that's when they were really focused, when the chamber was focused on downtown, really growing. This was 12, 13 years ago. And so I got in the meeting. I was like, yo, what about the businesses on 90? Like, what about new businesses like mine? I employ 40, 50 people. I got a huge sports bar, and you guys are just focused on downtown. I wasn't really happy with it. But man, so I think we need to. I've always wanted to expand on 90.
Yeah, but Big O's. Go back to Big O's real quick.
Yeah, that's
the bar I went to with a basketball goal.
Yeah, we had a basketball.
I just hang out there and just wait for him because I get there kind of early Sunday.
Yeah,
and I go straight, say to open the door and go, all right, come in. And he had a center bar, probably one of the first real well center bars. And I go sit center bar, like get in. So I'm sitting there waiting, And I thought the concept. So that was new, but it was on the other side. So catching back in where you're saying you did make a good point. Like, what about 90?
Well, there's all this new infrastructure coming into downtown. It's like traffic's already fucked. I don't know if you know that, but 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's done.
Man, people say traffic.
It's terrible.
Go to another city, and then you tell me what traffic is like. It's bad, but. Man, you go to another city, you're talking about miles of that shit. Miles from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock at night. So traffic does suck, but it's not There's going to be growth.
That the city kind of looks at that as part of their job is to actually slow traffic down. They're actually looking to slow traffic down. They want people moving at a slower, safer pace. They want people stopping into businesses. That's something I learned from the previous mayor, Shay Dobbs.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I was telling him we needed some options, speed dragging. Like, that's actually not what we do, man. We try to slow it down.
Yeah. And that's the South, man. The South is slowed down. Yeah. That's why at this stage of my life, man, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
Well, I don't know if I completely agree with the lack of the marina. Like, you want to see empty space and everything.
You like the marina?
Well, I like healthy
and that's cool.
growth.
Like,
yeah.
You like what?
Healthy growth.
Yeah.
And when you say downtown's busting as it seems, I mean, if other people want to live here that are documented Americans who have their rights to move down here, it kind of what promotes our tourism and growth and everything. I mean, we have to create something. Yeah. You can't sell it as a noble ideal that keep it this way if no one else can come, because how could it grow?
No, it makes sense. Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
because like you were saying,
to say that. I mean,
No, I get it. The growth is good, and we need the growth. I mean, it's going to grow.
Healthy growth.
The only constant is change. Things are going to change. Like when a lot of these people who now are here and are trying to like reverse downtown. It's like, you would have never come here if downtown was reversed.
Been nothing.
You would have drove by here, you would have looked at it, and you would have kept driving.
Yeah, tater nut.
You're being a fucking hypocrite.
Absolutely.
It's like, this place is awesome. No one else should come here ever.
Yeah,
keep it this way.
Yeah,
well, if it wasn't awesome, you want to come here.
Yeah, they would. That's what I tell these people. I'm like, yo, you talk all this stuff about. We need to roll back. If this place was rolled back to what it was before,
want to roll back, they would have never. Everybody be starving to death.
They would have never. Yeah,
be no work.
The about Ocean Springs is they keep chains out.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's great for us.
What do you fucking see, dude? You see Dunkin' Donuts closing down on the 90.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Krispy Kreme.
Crispy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Crispy, but
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. Whatever, dude. Like,
come in here.
Not up in here.
Try compete with Tater Nuts and look what happens.
You got Tater Nuts.
Bye.
Right
we don't need you.
The Government Street Grocery Donut Joint. That's a good joint too.
Small business, brother.
It's unreal how they support local business. It's unreal.
I do miss Bucky's Pizza if you're listening.
Bucky's?
Yeah, Bucky's. You're right next to where Little Caesars was.
No, you got to be more specific. Not Bucky's.
I'm thinking about Bucky's.
Bucks Pizza.
Bucks
Pizza.
The marketing took you. The marketing took you. They come here already fucking Vinci. I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, you go. Bucks Pizza. Bucks Pizza. Right there by Rouse's. They used to be a pizza place. They used to get calzones because my parents had the same phone number as Pueblo Express. But,
that was their number?
872, but 875. It was.
Yeah.
They call it Tom. When I was growing up, and I'd call and be like, I need to order a po' boy. But it's just small stuff. So there was a Bucks Pizza that was phenomenal.
Yeah. Buddy, my favorite pizza joint, and shout out to Tom's because everyone loves Tom's. No, my favorite is Brooklyn's. Yeah.
Oh, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
I'm just a Brooklyn. I like that chewy, crispy. Yeah. Tom's is great. Everyone loves Tom's. And they're like, yo, Tom's your favorite. I'm like, man, I like Tom's, but I'm like, no way, you like Brooklyn? I'm like, yeah, and because I love Tom. He's such a good dude too, man. But yeah, I like them both. Yeah, but I give Brooklyn that notch.
You got the owner behind the bar, though.
Yeah, big fat dude sweating all over the place. I love it. Reminds me of me. Reminds me of me. Like, seriously, yo, drip it, son.
Should you be elected? You're going to be a strong part of the council. We pitched an idea that I first heard, and I got to give him props on it. I first heard this ever from Matt Stebley. He's the first time I ever heard this idea about a one lane on government.
Hate the idea.
You don't like it?
Hate the idea.
What about golf?
So I used to live on Bowen, right? And the owner that I was renting from, he's like, man, we got to do this one lane thing. I'm like, Are you crazy? I'm
We're
like,
gonna discharge the cars.
your property value will drop. People don't want, because it's going to go down Bowen now. So it's for the people that live on Bowen. I hate that idea for them. I just think if we can do maybe parking on one side of the street, if we can do parking on one side of the street, then yeah, I think you could free up the cars.
Kenny did have a great idea with that, man.
What was that?
Like, I don't know if you watched the last pod with Kenny, but put parking zones for these food trucks.
Oh, I got an issue with these guys. Well, that's the thing. They put the loading zone in front of my joint. So now these cats are like, no, but I'm saying is these guys, because they don't want to go on government, they park in front of my joint.
I heard that and they said you're a class act, but I heard about them trying to.
What's that?
They said that you were a class act, like, hey, you're in front of my.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
No, I'll be like, yo, hey, man, like some of them just block my entrance to my business.
Venetian getting like orders every day.
Yeah, they block your shit too.
Yeah. You were just in a seafood truck the other day and you got sideswiped. Did you even know?
Oh, was that?
No, I think you're sideswiped.
He did.
Yeah.
He was in a Desport seafood truck and he got.
Oh, was that you that I was talking to when you parked?
Oh no, that was y'all. That was y'all.
Hold on. You hit him?
Justin.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is sometimes they'll park and block my.
No, I did. I confess, I did park. I did park in front of Oren's.
But I go to
driveway.
You did.
You were
block
super
the driveway?
professional about it. Yeah. I was one of the guys. I was the last.
I'm telling you, I don't
probably-
bullshit. I speak the truth all the time.
What's so funny?
No, because you're not the only.
What's so funny? No, I was the last.
You're
guy.
not the only guy. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, but I did report on that in my defense, and I said the super nice guy came out and said, yeah.
Oh,
it was my fault.
So my boar's head guy sideswipes a car when he's trying to back in, and I'm telling you, it's brutal, man. Like, and they're blocking my road, and that's one thing, you know. It's just. Normally, before I moved here, I'd be like, I'd be going off on people, but now it's a slow area, and so I'm like, hey man, you mind not parking here, dude? Like, can you park over here? And so, yeah, the parking zones is. I think maybe they should do times as well. You know, like early in the morning, get your stuff early in the morning. But the one lane idea, I'm not a big fan of. I just think if we can just keep street side park, but again, that street side parking. You know, it helps businesses. You know, if I see a parking here, like at Glory Bound, and I'm thinking about going to Phoenicia, and there's no parking at Phoenicia, and I just got a pass to go to Glory Bound and turn around. I see a parking right in the front of Glory Bound. I might just stop in Glory Bound and get a gyro instead. I know it's pronounced gyro, okay? I know it's pronounced gyro, but I say gyro because this is America. Exactly.
I think y'all just gave me my new business idea for downtown. It's going to be basically DoorDash
Really?
for the local businesses. But what I do is I'm going to go to a big parking lot. They can load up my golf cart. And I take it from the loading zone for the trucks down straight to the business.
Yeah.
Straight to the business.
There you go.
And let's keep the
like a little satellite delivery.
Exactly. Little satellite
yeah,
delivery
charge
for
US
local
Foods
businesses, and I just charge a small
and
percentage,
Reinhardt,
and I deliver it from Fallow Pleasant Parking straight to the business.
Yeah.
And just make runs.
Shout out to Pleasant.
Go.
Shout out to Pleasant's Barbecue. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, Pleasant's Barbecue. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the best ribs in town for sure.
What's that?
They get coffee here every day.
Yeah. Good dude, man. Good dudes.
Yeah. Love Mike.
Where would you? So let's go ahead and look at that camera. Throw in that camera. Give him that camera.
All right.
And send it off for us. And,
give us a good send off for it.
A send off? Well, you know, I've been very fortunate in life, and just to find myself here at this stage. And I just decided, let's make it a little hectic right now. So I decided to run for office because I consider this my town, like I love this town. I love it. And I want to do everything I can to help. And I hope you guys believe in me like you did in my business. And I believe if transparency is the number one thing, that's not even an issue. And I like to surround myself with people who know a lot more, people who have been here longer. And, I hope to get your vote, but I hope you buy my bagels too. If you don't vote for me, great. We're still going to be great. You don't want to put my sign up in the yard. Great. Hey, show them that sign we got. This is one, but check out this one right here. Huh? Hey, I'm the underdog. I'm Pedro. I'm the underdog. Oh yeah, I had those. Yeah. So, if you believe in me, that'll be great. If you don't,
hold it up.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm in. But either way, you vote for me, great. You don't, great. Life's going to go on. I'm going to support whoever you vote for. And you guys have supported me already for now 6 years, which is unbelievable to me. So either way, it's not always about politics, but I can say I gave it a shot either way. So and you guys, man, you guys know exactly how I feel the way this city is, man.
I already said it, to make a difference.
That's it.
Vote local or run for office, and you're running for office.
Yeah,
man.
I'm giving it a shot.
I fucking love it.
Either way,
we couldn't love you more.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
We love entrepreneurs in the city, and you do a
Love
great
you.
job, man.
Love you guys. At one time, huh?
Yep.
Cheers.
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 Yeah, we
You used to park in front of your driveway.
That's all right. That's all right.
You want to meet Oren? Park in his driveway. You can run
Thanks
on
for
out.
y'all watching. Y'all vote for Oren.
Hey, look.
Have a wonderful night.
We can definitely have a round two before you go on
Round two?
on your primary.
Yeah, let's do it, man. We'll get closer to the primary.
Yeah.
Once these guys